One TV special report.
If you look at this data, the economy of Region 10 is expanding. So RD, why is it there na naay red gihapon? If all the economy is expanded, why is it that there are red growth rates? These are red growth rates because they did not meet their targets. For example, Bukidnon targeted between 5 to 7, but only managed 3.8%. But look at Misamis Occidental. Misamis Occidental had very modest aspiration. Gusto lang nila mag-grow between 5.1 to 7.1. But Misamis Occidental exceeded its target to grow by 7.5%. Unfortunately, di lang nato makakagov ang data for poverty for 2025 because it is still being computed. They finished the first round of survey in July, and the second round of the survey was just done last month, so they are still computing. So if you look at the data of Misamis Occidental, nisangka ang poverty level ng Misamis Occidental. But let me tell you a story. I'll tell you a story. When was the pandemic? 2020, correct? And the poverty survey was in 2021. Do you know? Only 2 LGUs in Region 10 managed to reduce the poverty in 2021 during the pandemic year. And it was Pamigin and Misamis Occidental. And you know why? Kasi sa panahon na si Go Adto, congressman, kamo mga mayor, in Misamis Occidental, wala kong nagkulang sa paghatag o ayuda sa inyong katauhan at itong panahon nga nanira ang ilang mga trabahuan. Pero ang pakupana, ano man nga nisaka ang poverty ni Misamis Occidental in 2023? Nisaka because what happened was that dili ang pandemic, pero nag-share line. Kadungdung mo sa share line? Admittedly go, first time ko nakadungog atong share line. Ano adi ay share line? Because alam ang tao, tropical depression, tropical storm, share line, first time. And nakita nato nga, bago siya sa pangdungog sa mga tao, share line, is it scary? Di ba para dili ba scary ang share line? But then share line dumped a lot of rain, damaging ang atong mga flood control measures, no, and really inundating many parts of Region 10, including Misamis Occidental, which was the most hard-hit area during that share line. And while dali mo nakalimpyo sa inyong kadalanan, pandemic pa ba yato, wala pa nakaabri kaayo ang ekonomiya, the impact of the share line, medyo dugay ang paghalang, pero sa iyang paghalang, daghan na apekto. But this is what we should understand about the poverty situation of Region 10. In the country, how do we measure poverty? We measure it through income. Some would criticize that kind of measurement is not really accurate. True, because poverty is multidimensional. But we have to be able to measure poverty to determine the poor and the non-poor so that we can provide targeted interventions. The truth of the matter is that kanimuning income, if your income threshold, if your income is below the threshold, you are poor. If your income nitungtong sa threshold or above it, you are non-poor. The threshold is the minimum income that you need to meet your basic needs. The truth is, naatay daghan transient poor. Meaning karon non-poor, sunod ma-poor sa panahon na naay katalagman. That's why one of our efforts is really towards building the resilience of our communities. So that when a katalagman comes, when a is our challenge, building our resilience. Next slide. But gihatag na mga kanino, believe me, istorya ni natin noon. Ingon bisigog, dili pwede, wala tayong data 2025. Inkugo, wala pa yun na human ang pag-process sa data sa 2025. Nanawag kong PSA. Inko, unsay available, pwede nito mahatag for Misamis Occidental. And they say, RD, pwede naman mahatag ang income level for Misamis Occidental, but only for the first semester. Inko, good enough. Please release it. Padala tag sulat. Makaranta ang taga-PSA basta si Gob ang nangayon. Gob naka-release yun. No? So I'll tell you, these are in deciles. Meaning, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%. So there are 10 income deciles. Ang lowest income is from the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. These are the low income deciles. And the higher income deciles are from 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Look at your data. Isulti na nito. Ang blue atong 2023, ang pink atong 2025. If you look at that, the incomes of the families in Misamis Occidental have increased in 2025. And the incomes mas dako ang increase dito sa lower income groups than the higher income groups. But the question is the increase in the income enough to bring them out of poverty? Because it's not enough that we just increase their income. Most importantly, the increase must be enough to bring them out of poverty. So that's something that we will know by August. But the incomes in Misamis Occidental have increased. This is our challenge. Dili lang sa Misco, but sa tibuok Pilipinas. The increase in the incomes of our people must be greater than the increase in the cost of food and other commodities. Kaya kung ang pag-increase sa income is not higher than the increase in the cost or prices of goods, we will not be able to reduce our poverty. So our challenge here, kay Bob, amo kong hindi challenge ang PSA ani Bob. Kinatingala ni, sorry to Secretary Lopez. In 2023, we questioned PSA because in the entire Mindanao, Region 10 had the highest poverty threshold, meaning it would take more income to meet your basic needs in Region 10 than in other areas of Mindanao. Ang taas man ang atong threshold in Region 10, na kita nag-supply sa food. Why did I question that? Because if we have a higher threshold, it means that we need a higher minimum wage level. If we have a higher threshold, it means that we would really need more income to bring people out of poverty. So two things. We need to be able to monitor the cost of the prices of food and other goods. No, kinahanglan nato binamonitoron. Muna nga may local price monitoring council. Monitoron nato para dili magsigigsaka ang presyo. Pero more than monitoring the prices, I think the challenge is we have to increase the incomes of our people. We have to generate jobs that would bring meaningful income to our people. Next slide. So, mo ni ang atong mga strategic na mga buhaton, no? Una good is that ang isa sa ato nakita is that dako ang impact sa Share 9, ang uneven ang growth across the provinces in Region 10, and even ang impact sa growth across the provinces in Region 10. Nakita po nato that there are vulnerable groups na dili nato pwede biyahan. But it is our commitment na we will continue targeting our interventions, not targeting man ta, because our resources are finite, dili siya enough. So dapat ang una natong tagaan katong yung sector na mas nanginahanglan. Kinaamay mga sector na tagaan ng inyong incentives. They would try, but there are really those people that you would have to provide the safety nets. We have to improve employment generation. We have to ensure inclusivity. We have to build infra because infrastructure is an income generator and employment generator. No, and we have to strengthen our linkages. We must make sure that there's value adding in the work that we do here in the region. Next slide. So, take a look at your municipalities. Di na lang ako basahon. Kanang mga nag-blue, muuni ang mga municipalities that manage to bring down their poverty. The ones in red are the municipalities na nag-increase ilang poverty in 2023. So, ang nag-reduce, Aloran. Ang nag-reduce, Concepcion. Ang nag-reduce, Lopez Haina, and the city of Oroquieta. Muna ang nag-reduce in 2023. Hopefully, prayers and hope. It is our prayer and our hope that we have done enough in the past by 2025. And a hopeful sign is that nag-increase ang incomes in 2025. Next slide. So in summary, in Region 10, Natay hits. As a region, we met some of our targets, but we also failed to meet some of our targets. There are 327 indicators with annual targets that we use to assess our performance as a region, but these are not only targets, these are our commitments. And based on our assessment, Region 10 Region 10 as a whole only met 53% of its target, but failed to attain 47%. Maunang nag-updating ta sa atong plan last year. Kaya naman, we failed to meet 47% of our targets. Next slide. Gold, this is Misamis Occidental. As far as Misamis Occidental is concerned, you've met your target in terms of GRDP growth. You've met when it comes to industry growth. You have met your target in terms of services. Binhita medyo wala na kami sa itong target sa agriculture. But that is also the reality in all the provinces of Region 10. We failed to meet our target when it comes to agriculture. And so therefore, we must not be surprised that we also miss our target when it comes to poverty. Because the poorest sector are unfortunately in the sector that provides food for the people. Next slide. So, this is Region 10 in 2019. We assessed ourselves because we believe that if we want to achieve something that we have never achieved before, we must be prepared to do something that we have never done before. So in 2019, we asked ourselves, why is it that despite its strong economic performance, many areas in the region remain poor? And then we asked ourselves, where are these poor areas? Region 10 has 5 provinces, 9 cities, 14 legislative districts, 84 municipalities, and 2,022 barangays. Where are the poor barangays? The poor barangays are in the conflict-affected and areas susceptible to natural hazard. That's where poverty is high. So we came up with the convergence areas for peace and development, identifying these barangays and making sure that these barangays are given preferential treatment by our regional line agencies. Next slide. So in 2019, we identified 763 barangays. Right in 2023, we had 351. But we reassessed in 2026, and now we have 408 barangays. Ang priority nato kanang pula These are poverty-stricken, conflict-affected, geographically isolated, and prone to natural hazards. And there are 89 barangays. Kanang yellow, second priority. These are conflict vulnerable, dili na affected conflict vulnerable, poverty-stricken, and either geographically isolated sila or susceptible to natural hazards. Kanang blue, walay conflict, pero poverty-stricken, geographically isolated, and susceptible to natural hazards, and there are 69. In Misamis Occidental, 100 or 1/5, 20% are our priority barangays. And naami lista asa ni per munisipyo. Insurgency-free na ang Misamis Occidental, pero gidugang sa tan-ID ko nga area, munang nagyapon tayo red, because these are vulnerable to conflict unless we provide the development interventions. Ang kinadaghanan is in Bukidnon. Next slide. So what is our outlook? Oh, of course, our outlook is good. It's not green, no? Next slide, please. We have updated our plan last year because our plan in 2023, wala man siya, no, did not facilitate the attainment of most of our targets. So we have to recalibrate because a plan is dynamic. Pero hindi natin nabisitahon na itong plano, no? Next slide. So naghapon tayo strategic development areas, and Misamis Occidental is part of our strategic area number 2, capitalizing on the agri-fishery, eco-cultural tourism endowments of Lanao del Norte and Misamis Occidental. Dili si NEDA ang nagbuot or si DepDep nagbuot ani. This is based on your competitive and comparative advantages as a province. Next slide. So these are the key development zones of the province. This is based on the Provincial Development and Physical Framework Plan of the province of Misamis Occidental, no, which underwent a review during the entry of Governor Waminal in 2022. So one is called the Misamis Occidental Coastal Corridor. And then another corridor, another key development zone is the Malindang Highlands Agri-Ecotourism Zone. Then we also have the Lanao del Norte Agri-Coastal Growth Center. And then we have the Southern Lanao del Norte Halal Agro-Logistics Zone. Okay? Next slide. So kato siya, nga i-identify nato ang strategic development areas because we want to make sure that the infrastructure or development interventions that are going to be, can you please go back, that are going to be poured into these areas, the strategic development areas, are compatible or responsive to its strategic development area identity. Next slide. So, of course, our strategy, we will ensure equitable growth across the regions. We will ensure improved connectivity, no, improve connectivity not only physically in terms of infra but also in terms of digital connectivity. We must promote education, health, no, and then of course nutrition. And then targeted dapat ang atong AFF interventions. But all of this will not happen without good governance. Good governance is the backbone and foundation of development. Nalang ko'y gamay nga istorya, and this is the importance of redundant access. The most hard-hit area sa Typhoon Bashang is Iligan. Correct? It was like Sendong all over again. Ang Iligan, if we want to go to Misamis Occidental from Cagayan de Oro to Lanao del Norte, natay tulog kapwede agian katong Iligan to Wood Bridge, katong diversion road, and then kining sa Tambakan. Pero ang coastal road,
Pang-upat unta to, wa pa man human. Dili maagian ang tubod. Tubod iligan na bridge. So either diri sa diversion road or sa Tambakan. Grabing traffic. And traffic is an economic cost. You waste a lot of money during traffic. So very important ang redundant access. That's why I would like to affirm si Gov. Henry. When he pushed for redundant access across municipalities, because if you only have one access to a municipality, when disaster strikes and that access is cut off, unsaon pagsulod sa tabang? Unsaon nimo pag-rescue? Pero dili pud pwede nga dili pud thoughtful ang atong pag-identify sa atong redundant access. But that is really the challenge. So we're hoping that naka-update na ba ta sa atong mga comprehensive land use plans? I hope that you have, because in your CLUPs, dapat din nato na-reflect ang atong mga present and future proposed road networks to ensure that we have redundant access in your municipalities and in the province. Kay munang hitabo ron sa Iligan. Grabing traffic. Munang ganihan nilakaw ni sa Cagayan de Oro na nilakaw alas 3, na nilakaw alas 3:30, di baling mo abot diri sayo kaayo kaysa maulahinig abot. Next slide. So these are our targets. No, for Region 10, we still want to continue growing between 5.6 to 6.6%. Pero amo nang gitemper ang among aspirations when it comes to poverty reduction. This is more realistic, no? And so this is the recalibrated regional targets. We will also ask you, the province of Misamis Occidental and the 14 municipalities and 3 cities of Misamis Occidental, we would also like you to reflect and assess your targets on poverty reduction. Next slide. So this is our targets for growth rate for Misamis Occidental. Mo gihapon 5.7 to 7.2%. Although Misamis Oriental is already 7.5%. Pero si Gov, realistic si Gov. Next slide. These are the targets in terms of poverty sa province ug sa highly urbanized cities, but we want you to reassess if this will still remain as your targets. Okay, for example, Misamis Occidental, single digit man gyud ta by 2028. Okay. Next slide. So how do we operationalize the plan? Next slide, ang atong RDP. Of course, we use the different tools, no? Our budgets, our investment programs, our catalytic projects, our CILI projects. Si Gov nag-ingon, RD. Naamag ito Universal Regional Development Investment Program, correct? Yes, Gov, naa. Within the Regional Development Investment Program, RD, napabatay lain universe, iko yes, Gov, naa. The universe of the infrastructure flagship projects as well as the catalytic projects. Isa, okay, RD. Kani akong gusto mahitabo. Sa katong catalytic o flagship projects nato ani RD, asa man ani ang mga sili nga muhalang. Nga kung implementahon during his term, muhalang yun ug mabati ang kausaban across the region. So kami, huna-huna pod mi, pero gitagaan na mo meaning ang sili ni Gov. Wala si Gov kay may man siya. Gusto na ko RD ang sili nga muhalang. Okay, so nag-identify ni og mga within the universe of the flagship and catalytic, we identified sili nga muhalang. And sili now has a meaning. Strategic, impactful, legacy building initiatives. muna'y meaning sa sili. Strategic siya, in terms of sector identification. Impactful siya, kay mabati ang impact, and legacy building. It will build legacies ng mga initiatives. Next slide. These are part of our SIMI projects. These are our flagship projects. Next slide. These are also what we call some of your SIMI in Misamis Occidental. Your airport expansion, your AMOMC. Kaya dili pwede nga isa ra ka tertiary hospital sa Region 10. And ang AMOMC, we wanted to become really a tertiary hospital and ethics hospital as well. The Aquamarine Park, the Coastal Road, Convention Center, the Riverview Deck. Basig mo tudlo mo, asa man ang among project RD? Oh, si Gov may na-identify ani. Si Gov inyong pangutan-on og asa ang inyong uban projects. But they are in our catalytic projects. Example rani. Wala nagpasabot nga maura ni ang i-pursue ni RDC for the term of governor. These are just some. No? I'm just showing. Next slide. This one is our process. Nagsugod na ta sa atong budget review process last year by issuing the regional guidelines. And then in January, we had our regional budget forum. We had hand-holding activities. We had a meeting with the chief of staff. We had a consultation on the CSO consultation on the prepared budgets, and we're having this anti-poverty summit. Sa RD, kung naanay budget proposal ang mga ahensya, ngano pa man ta mag-summit? Nag-summit ta tungod kay wala pa nahuman ang budget process. We can still influence the budgets of our regional line agencies. Kaya lang, kinahanglan nato bahinon. Unsa ang mga projects nga pwedeng punduhan ni munisipyo o syudad, ayaw na ihatag ni province. Si province will also identify unsa inyong mga importante nga projects that they can fund. Pero katong mga programs o projects ninyo nga naay interprovincial nga mga impacts or naay impact nga bisan pa og province lang ang impact niya, pero it will really result in poverty reduction, ilabay nato sa national level. Kana ta mo influence. And the sectoral committee meeting will start February 23, next week. So mo nang nag-pre-work mo to identify your priorities. Next slide. So, ang atong gusto jud is alignment. This is one emphasis of Gov. Henry during his term. Alignment. Vertical alignment. National, regional, provincial, local. But not only vertical alignment, but also horizontal alignment. Because within one province, the municipalities must be horizontally aligned. Next slide. So na ay initiatives from the congressman, na apoy initiative sa local level, but through the leadership of Gov. Henry, nagpatawag siya ng executive session. Ang gusto gid niya is harmonize ang priority sa congressman or congresswoman with the priority of the local chief executives. Next slide. So kanilang, ipakita lang nako gamay kay kung base na ay naapektuhan sa inyo, nga Gov, bisan katong share line bitaw Gov nga wala pa gihapon nila napunduhan, dapat ma-include na sa inyong proposal. Next slide. For Typhoon Basyang, okay, next slide. Gov, this is a testament to your improved preparation in Basyang, Gov. Because in Misamis Occidental, only 3 barangays, 54 families were affected. Highly affected Miss-Or, and of course, Iligan City. No? So, kaniya paso na mo ang mga proposals from these areas. But if you have proposals relating to further improving your resilience, please submit it to the RDC. Next slide. Atong gapangitaon manggod are programs that can be funded or proposals that can be funded by quick response fund ang dili ma-accommodate sa Quick Response Fund atong ipasulod sa fiscal year 2027 nga budget proposals. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, so muning menu of projects. Tanawa lang ninyo, no? So these are the menu of projects. Unsay pwede punduhan sa Quick Response Fund ug unsa ang pwede punduhan atong fiscal year 2027 proposals. Next slide. Next slide. I would like us to remember what is our vision for the region. I know you have a vision for your province and your municipality, but this is the guiding vision for Region 10. We want a future nga malambuon ug lig-on. Sustained development and strong amidst the headwinds, no? We want to become an international gateway, leading agricultural hub and major industrial, tourism and trade center in the Philippines. That is the future that we want for Region 10. We're very clear about our vision, and we are mobilizing resources to attain this vision. And with that, maayong buntag ka natong tanan.